Hey, it's David, the political slut. So let's talk about immigration for a minute. When I turn on the TV and I see mainstream media saying they're going to come for grandma, they're going to come for your friend, they're going to come for abuelita to her door, the military, arms ablazing, pow, 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 take her by the wig, throw her in the back of a car, throw her in jail, and then throw her out of the country. That is so not even true. And first of all, Donald Trump has not even laid out his detailed plan yet, and this is what they're assuming is going to happen. And what does assuming do? It makes an idiot out of me and you, right? So let's talk about that very divisive rhetoric they're using, this divisive rhetoric from this party of unity. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting. But what prompted me to do this video is I was walking last night, and this family of 6 talked to me on the street, and they were checking into this hourly rate motel. You know what I mean? But they had a newborn, they had a 2-year-old, and I'm like, that's no place for them. And they said they were kicked out of the shelter system, and I felt so incredibly bad, and that made me sad. It made me sad because if you don't know me, hello, I am the son of immigrants here. I'm first generation, obviously. Spanish was my first native tongue. I didn't learn English till I was about in the 1st grade. So that's a little bit of my background if you guys weren't aware. And so this kind of hits home for me. I'm like, okay, yes, illegal immigrants, are they above the law? Is anyone above the law? Absolutely not, especially if illegal is in your title, you know what I mean? Or in your description. Illegal immigrants, they're not above the law. There are ways, there are processes of getting into this country legally. And that should be followed. That said, I believe in the illegal immigrant population, there are good people. There are people who are already here, who already have a fake social. I kind of stopped doing this. People here with a fake social, who are working hard, who are already sending money back home, who are trying to make themselves established here, who have kids in school, whose kids are actually benefiting, are flourishing in our schools, shockingly, and they haven't broken the law. They're not a gang member. They're not a violent person. They're not a criminal. Should they be put in the same group? Should they be rounded up military style like the Democrats want to happen? And yes, they do want it to happen. I'll get to that in a minute. It's just crazy. And on the other side, we can't think that those people, everyone who crossed the border is a rapist, murderer, killer. Now, under the Trump administration, the previous Trump administration, about 3 to 4 million people crossed the border illegally. Under the current Biden-Harris administration, about 11 to 15 million crossed the border illegally. That's disgusting. And there was no management plan by the Biden-Harris administration as to what to do to the communities, to the cities, to the states that received all these migrants. What are you going to do? Are you going to give them more money? You really didn't. You really didn't help out anything. You kind of said, all right, you guys handle it now. It's on you. That is probably one of the main reasons they lost the election was a management problem. They couldn't manage the illegal immigrants. Maybe their plan was give them all amnesty and hope they all vote Democrat. I don't know, but that sort of already backfired in this last election where Latinos went for Trump. Gather myself. Okay, so in this illegal immigrant population, there's about 1 to 2 million illegal immigrants who already have had their day in court and were served deportation notices. So if no one is above the law, those 1 to 2 million people have to go. Here's the exit. Goodbye. Secondly, Trump said he would target people who have come in without being vetted, as the vast majority of the illegals have to this country, thanks to the policies by the current presidential administration. Gee, thanks, Joe. Unvetted people, which we now discovered, oh, shoot, they have all this, criminal history from their country of origin, or, oh, look at all these illegals who now have created a criminal history in our country. Gee, thanks, guys. We really appreciate that respect, and those people should be sought out, should be gathered, and should be shown the exit as well. I don't know how this is controversial. These are criminals. These are people who broke the law on more than one occasion that are here using your tax dollars to stay in a hotel, to have free health care, to get $1,000 food debit card. What in the world is going on? My heart goes out to the people here who are illegal, who are actually working hard, who have their kids in school, who are following the laws ever since arriving here. Maybe not crossing here, but arriving here. You should not be afraid that the military is going to show up to your place of work like they actually did years ago. Well, law enforcement did anyway, and rounded up workplace illegal workers. But that could be avoided. And the reason why Democrats want that to happen is because they refuse to work with the Trump administration. They refuse to work with the federal government to help pinpoint the exact location where these bad actors are, where these people with deportation notices are, where these people who already have a criminal history are. They refuse to give them any information on any illegal immigrant. That just adds to more of the anxiety, more of the unknown, more of the messiness that this is going to be. But I think Democrats want this. They want us to look like the bad guy. They want us to be like, oh, well, it's your turn to manage it, and you get to do the shitty part of the management, which is clean up the mess that we made. How dare they? They want to sit there and sit on their little high horse. They want to virtue signal. They want to do everything else, but they can't admit when we have to do the dirty work. You know what I mean? It's not fair. It's not fair to anyone involved. And in the end, I think conservatives and liberals are treating these illegal immigrants just like pawns and not like people. And I think a little bit of more people to person, more human to human kind of thought into this would really ease the anxiety of everyone, including the illegal immigrants and including the citizens who are like, we don't want the army, patrol going through our streets. What? Stop that. It's BS. Anyway, it's David. Let me know what you think. Till next time.